Hero Spotlight, the segment where we unmask our featured IT heroes and find out a bit more about them. Today we've got Rapalang Ravana, co-founder of Yego and global head of research and development of Tell3. We've got Garth Francis, founder and managing director of Zipper Consulting, and Salah Al-Baba, co-founder and managing director of SMS Web. Thanks for being here, guys. Rapalang, you wanted to go a different route when you first chose your career. You didn't want to conform to kind of the corporate environment and all its attachments. Has becoming an entrepreneur allowed you to play your own game and kind of make your own playing fields as well?
Definitely. I think the decision to be an entrepreneur was really a decision of being quite subversive, to not want to create your own products, create your own messaging, create your own day, and what you'll actually end up doing with most of your time, which is definitely what we managed to get around doing. And I felt that I needed to get out of a system that would most definitely define who I'd become in those critical 10 years after university. So it's definitely allowed me that freedom and leverage.
And one of the things you spoke about trying to get away from was the masculine traits of the corporate environment. Do you see IT as still being a boys' game, or have you?
The masculine traits are still there because our principal understandings of success and what's good or right in the corporate or business world are still very much defined according to masculine characteristics. So even as a woman, I still have to wonder, so is this quality good or great, and exactly how do I make it viable or profitable? Because the standard way of doing it is very much defined according to a masculine sense of success. So it's very difficult carving that path out.
And just to go on to you, I mean, you similar to Rapalang, you wanted to become an entrepreneur so that you could control your own destiny, in your words. How are you feeling at the moment? In control, or has that kind of
really, really difficult. I always wanted to own my own business, and as I said, it was about controlling my own destiny, thinking that you'll make a lot of money, and things are going to be hunky-dory. But obviously, after starting your own business, it's a totally different story. But I look at it as having job satisfaction. I'm happy getting up in the morning, going to work, because I enjoy what I'm doing.
Of course, you started off as an IT entrepreneur after returning from the UK,
Yes.
where you gained valuable, obviously, experience. As a kind of fledgling IT environment in the Western Cape, how important are gaining skills overseas?
What really gave me the confidence is that I always had the perception that the IT guys or the experience and the knowledge that we have in Cape Town is below par to what is in the UK or the US. But after spending 2 years in the UK, I realized that the skill and the knowledge that we have here is sometimes better than what it is overseas.
Couldn't agree more.
So you also have kind of this connection with the UK, and you've lived there and you've made a permanent move to South Africa after working in recruitment, as you said. What was, apart from coming here to be with your wife, what was the appeal of working in Cape Town and in an environment like
Well,
this?
I can't say it was the work environment, because I didn't know anything about the work environment. The biggest appeal was getting on a bus in London at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it was a dark, rainy, miserable day, and all these English people were miserable. And I just got back from 6 weeks in Cape Town, and it was like, Cape Town, London, Cape Town. It took me about 30 seconds. But when I got here, yes, I had by then 5 years experience of running my own business. To restart another business, in fact 2, was easy. The cost of living is less, there's less pressure, and people are more up for helping you than perhaps they are in the UK.
Let's talk about SMS Web a bit and how it's been able to kind of bridge technology between generation gaps. Parents are using it, kids are using it. How important is it to bring technology to the older folk?
Yeah, it's not strictly true. The kids don't use it at all. It's purely between the school and the parent is the communication. It is important to bring technology to the older folk, but we've got this unique environment where our customers are school principals. My father-in-law is a school principal. He's 60 this year. His emails are printed off for him and put into a file on his desk. So that's the kind of technology technophobe that we have to deal with. And school secretaries, who are even worse. They don't know what Facebook is or Twitter or TwitFace. They just get confused. So you have to build a system that's really simple and easy to use. They don't need to know what happens in the background. They just type, press a button, and it disappears.
Okay. And speaking of kind of bringing technology to people, Garth, your company is a seller of Google applications. I mean, from everything from the email applications to site applications. Just be honest with us, is Google trying to take over the world?
I think they are.
Yeah.
I think they are. No, it's, but from our side, from a technology perspective, we're looking at virtualization and cloud computing as the next trend as such. You know, the Google guys saw that 10, 15 years ago.
Rapalang, you started Diego at age 23. You featured, I mean, in Oprah magazine, Fair Lady magazine, scooped the awards, listed in the Mail and Guardian's 200 Young South Africans you have to take to lunch. How much pressure is there on you to keep performing and keep at the same pace as you've done in the past few years?
Sure. I don't quite take in that pressure really. The media sort of creates its own story and angles, and it's what the media does and how it works. But what happens when I wake up and go into the office is very separate from that. I still think the same way I did before any of that happened. And I think it's quite important to keep that separate. Otherwise, it could get very overwhelming because it's very easy to confuse that direct media coverage with genuine value, but it comes in the work I do in the office, not so much the media exposure I would get. So I try to keep it very separate.
Garth, you say the key to being a successful IT entrepreneur is, over and above having the technical expertise and background, to be able to learn and do and kind of motivate yourselves in multiple areas and ways.
No, of course, when you run your business, there's always the perception that you maybe have the technical background and you take that technical expertise and you think, okay, that's good enough to run your own business because that is what you did in the previous business, previous company, now your own boss, and I know all the technical stuff so I can do it myself, but you very soon realize that there are lots of other facets in running a business. So you have HR, you have marketing, you have sales, you have finance. So you can't ignore any of those other aspects of the business.
So now you say as an entrepreneur it's all about hustling, kind of persevering and finding a way of getting what you want when you need it. So do all entrepreneurs need to be hustlers?
Absolutely. What people don't realise when you start a business is that you're probably not going to get paid for the first 2 or 3 years. How then do you pay your bills? How do you pay your bond? How do you pay for food? You have to hustle, whether it's working a second job, whether it's having another source of income that keeps you going, whether it's using your wife's income or boyfriend's income or whatever it is. You've got to hustle. And how do you get that first meeting to win your first project when you've got no experience or no previous project to show someone? You hustle. You chat up the guy's PA or the lady's PA to get the meeting in the first place. Once you're in, then you can sell.
So we've got multi-talents, hustling. Ratna, what's your secret to success if you want to do it as an entrepreneur?
It's the ability to just keep on going. You never had to start with resources, but you need to be resourceful and just find ways to just make it happen.
I think we move on to the segment that everyone gets kind of excited about, and that's the quick-fire questions. So I'm going to start with this and we can just move through.
Okay.
Ratna, if you were a superhero and had a superpower, what would it be?
I think I would like to be able to time travel if I had that superpower.
What about you?
I would think if I'm able to cut myself into pieces, and each piece is a whole as such, then I'm able to be
Clone
able to
yourself.
Yes.
My superpower would be to look into the future and then buy shares on Facebook and Twitter a couple of years ago.
Who's your most trusted sidekick, or what is your most trusted sidekick?
Sure, that's a really tough one. After my bed, I would probably say the guys I work with. Yeah, my co-founders sort of, I think our brains work best together.
I would say my family, my wife and 2 little girls, as in just so easily pulls me back down to earth again, as in just keep me grounded as such.
Well, my wife will hate me saying it, but my sidekick is my wife. We're in business together, but also that's the whole reason I get up in the morning and go to work is for the wife and kids.
On the other side of the coin, what's your kryptonite or weakness?
That's in trouble.
Sure. Give me a hard drive with lots of movies and series, and I don't think I'll leave the house, and it would be quite a problem. So that I have to keep that at bay. until I really have a lot of time to kill.
Okay.
Yeah, I maybe look at it differently. Kryptonitis kind of pulls me down and kills my spirit, and that is people who kind of stab you in the back, or they, you know, in running a business, you run across those people, you come across those types of people. It really kills me. You know. So yeah, people who stab you in the back.
Okay.
No, mine's alcohol. No, I'm joking. I don't think I've got one.
Is there a problem we need to kind of address here?
I don't think I've got one. I think I've got the balance right between work and home. I think if my kids, if something happened to them, I would just fall over. So a bit deep, but that's the truth of it.
Okay, now to the final one. As a superhero, would you wear your underwear on the inside or the outside? Or other?
I think I'd wear it on the inside because I just don't see it giving me any plus points in any meeting. So I'll keep it on the inside.
I don't think plus points would come in any meeting if you showed up in superhero costumes anyway. So yeah. Garth, what
Yeah, no, I think I'll say more of wearing it in the inside. So yeah.
So,
I'd go for a full underpant body armour thing, so it's all in one.
okay, so it's
no
just
need-
kind of
well, I'm a superhero, so I don't need to wear or anything, so just right off.
perfect. A really warm thanks to all our IT entrepreneurs who have come in today. And if you'd like to read a bit more about them, please click on the IT Entrepreneur link, either on the side of the page or at the end of this video, and you can find out a bit more about our featured IT Entrepreneur heroes for this week. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you. Thanks.